So yeah, if you're interested in fantasy basketball, we'll do like a $10 to $20 buy-in just to see if you're actually listening to these podcasts. You can respond in the group message in which JT sends us out in, telling me if you're in or out.
Use promo code Jake.
It's good fun.
We need advertisers. That's what we really need.
Yeah, we need to get this thing monetized.
We really do.
Got to fix the laptop.
Yeah. True. We can do it. We have to fix the laptop. But all right,
You
so
gotta be a dick about it, Robertson.
All you're gonna pay.
Well, the school's gonna pay for the laptop being broken. We're just gonna pocket that money.
all right. Well, with that being said, we got to look at some week 12 review. It was a tale of two cities. It was a good week. It was a bad week.
Is that Charles Dickens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tale of 2 weeks. So last week, let's
the
go
best of
ahead
times?
and start
What's the
with
best
best times, worst times. You know, you get it.
You get it. This guy gets it.
So where y'all want to start? Let's start with the closest matchup.
Week
Let's
12.
do that because there was only one close matchup. The rest of them were at least
Not close.
at least 30. Looks like at least 35-point margins. So the closest matchup.
So you're saying there's no chance?
No. The closest matchup was the 1-2 matchup. Broach, Jordan,
Yeah.
Autobahn time versus Jordan's team.
Freaking Jordan, man.
I mean, I don't know how much luckier you could possibly
He's a
get.
red-headed magician.
You had a player. No. You
A
had
ginger magician.
all right, so
Ron Weasley even. Ron Howard even.
oh my God, Ron Weasley. So the original projection of 129 to 113, the final being 96.8 to 97.5. Jordan had a player get negative 0.7.
And his quarterback get 4.
I wish I had a quarterback to go for.
Actually, his quarterbacks.
Yeah, one of his quarterbacks did get negative.
Yeah, that's something we ain't seen since Jay Cutler.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we saw Sam Darnold.
Sam
last year.
Darnold did it.
Yeah, that's right. So
Andrew.
for Jordan, it came down to one player, and that player played on Thanksgiving. That player was Antonio Gibson. Yep, 34.1. The rest of his team just jumped on his back, and Antonio Gibson, with his 3 touchdowns, 115 rushing yards, 5 catches, I don't know how many yards, led him to a victory.
A lot of threes on the Autobahn side.
Yeah.
Call it Trey City.
We don't have to call it that.
Tyler Lockett is either, if DK has a good game, Tyler Lockett's like
Non-existent.
Yeah, I mean you might.
Unlocked even.
Jinx! You owe me a soda.
Got him!
I got you.
Get him a drink!
Right now.
Go.
Right now.
Get out of here.
Sheets.
Go.
You gotta go.
Shucks.
It's got to be sugar-free.
Sheets. You don't have to leave.
Yes.
You do owe me a soda. I mean, yeah, I have them in my refrigerator.
Oh.
All right, we gotta wait.
We gotta wait on JT.
JT can't talk anymore.
Let's make it an awkward pause.
Hurry up, JT! How about both defenses being like what?
Legit?
Well, I'm third scorer on one team and second scorer on the other. Cooper had a good game.
Koopa.
That was just what a
Pretty sure both
Dallas
teams.
sucks. Can we just say that Dallas is awful?
Dallas is terrible.
They're bad. That was one of the worst Thanksgiving games I've ever had to watch.
The only problem with that is, Broach started a Cowboy in that game, and he got him 20.
That's what I was like.
Cooper
No one
had like
else
a
on that
60-yard
team.
touchdown.
Amari Cooper's good.
He's really good.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cocaine's bad.
yeah, I can agree about that. Amari Cooper's good. Andy Dalton's not.
But he picks a new target every week. It's
Yeah,
like
it's not gonna be
he still has the AJ Green syndrome,
Yeah.
where he just throws it to one person the whole game. But now, at least other than just AJ Green, which would help fantasy players because you don't know which one it's going to be from week to week.
Yeah.
Because one week it's CD Lamb is going to throw it to 8-10 times. Then it's Gallup.
Yeah.
Then it's
The difference
C.
is
Matt Fielder or something like
Cincinnati only ever had one good wide receiver, except for that one season where they had Andrew Hawkins and Marvin Jones and AJ Green, and Andy Dalton was in the MVP
And Tyler
conversation.
Eifert.
Yeah, and he was
For
in the
3
MVP
games
conversation.
each year. Yeah, Andy Dalton had a couple good seasons.
This year he's got 3 really good wide receivers, and he just decides which one are they trying to take away, and I'll just not go with that guy at all.
Andy Dalton's just not that good.
that.
And their offensive line's terrible.
Yeah, the offensive line is awful.
And Jordan's sake here, I know neither one of them started this, but speaking of that game, is the Washington defense that for real?
Washington's defensive line is ridiculously good.
They've had a good
And
season.
Thomas Davis is playing pretty well.
I think their defense is good. Their offense, Antonio Gibson has played well.
As of late.
Yeah, Antonio Gibson's played pretty well for the most part.
3 weeks ago, I was so much on the McKissick train, it wasn't even funny. I'm
I
like,
think Antonio Gibson's the running back 4 over this season.
Yeah, I mean Antonio Gibson's had
He's been really
it's been up and down, but I think he's played
since
pretty
Alex
well.
Smith took over. He's stabilized that offense. They don't turn the ball over anymore, and they run the ball a lot more. So the defense is not on the field as much.
It's true.
And when they are on the field, they just pin their ears back and go get the quarterback.
I'll tell you
Chase Young and
this.
Kerrigan are really good at it.
True. I'll tell you this with Jordan. Dude, he picked up Frank Gore and started him, and I'm thinking, dude, oh God.
Got him!
Yeah, seriously. He picked up Frank Gore, and I'm like, golly, he's starting this guy. And honestly, he could have done a lot worse and lost.
I think we even said something on the podcast where he could go pick up like 4 other people.
Yeah, I said Brian Hill. Brian Hill didn't. Okay. This is your thing. Okay.
Soundboard guy. I support Frank Gore pickup just because Piron's hurt, and you can't split carries with anybody because there's nobody else there.
True. I mean, it worked out. I mean, he had 10.
Jacobs getting hurt him. And
Yeah, for sure.
I'm never going to question other people's starts because I'm the world's worst at it.
Fournette.
But I'm looking at Kirk over. Nice. Over Parker with Fitz in the game.
Yeah, if Fitz is playing, Parker's a stud.
Yeah. And who's starting at quarterback this week?
Right now, it's
they're not going
50-50.
to decide until game time.
Sorry, jumping ahead a little bit, I know, but
Dude, yeah.
Parker
let's-
better-
But if you want better fantasy options, you hope Fitz starts. Children of all ages there.
Okay.
Did you just say cocaine?
No, that's a cocaine.
All right, I'm done.
got one more.
Other than that, though, there's not really too much to take away from this matchup. Gronk looked well. Gronk had one of his better weeks.
Gronk looked well.
Yeah, that's all I got.
yes,
That's all. Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers did what they usually do. Yeah. I mean, for the most part, it just kind of came down to like Tyler Lockett putting up a dud, Josh Jacobs getting hurt, and then
I mean, the recipe for success for Broach hasn't changed. It's Rodgers and Adams, and then just get decent games out of everybody else.
yeah,
Just commercial.
Broach is a little top heavy. I mean, really, like he's
I
top
think
heavy
he's
when
well
it comes to Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Literally been at the top of his lineup.
Which I told y'all that a couple weeks ago. I said,
What are you
Broach-
doing?
I think I got that.
Broach hasn't had like a major injury yet. But if he loses one of those guys, that's been carrying his team.
I mean, if he loses Jacobs, that's a big deal. I mean, I know
Yeah,
Jacobs
exactly.
isn't like he's out this week. I don't think it's a long-term thing, but if Josh Jacobs isn't like getting 70% of the snaps, isn't getting 15 to 20 touches a game.
He's rolling with Melvin Gordon, Todd Gurley, and Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, I don't like.
Yeah, but I mean, but right now, are you going to doubt Rodgers and Adams until somebody figures out how to stop them?
Good looking rest of the season.
Yeah, probably not. Not. All right. Well, so Jordan goes to 8-4. So does Broach, and they are 1-2. That's all we got with that. Congrats, Jordan. Another.
Proud of you.
Another
squeak.
Yeah. How many can you have? I guess I'm just bitter.
8?
I'm just bitter.
You're better than that.
A bitter the fool.
Okay. What you got?
Come on, Jake.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's not bitter. All right, back to you.
Okay. All right.
Better
So
luck
the rest.
next year.
There you go. All right, so the rest of our Week 12 matchups, we're not close. We'll just go from top down. So, Card of Personality, number 9 versus Scorp, number 10. This matchup didn't mean much because, well, neither team's going to be making the playoffs.
Good win. It's a good number, but
Yeah, oh yeah. It could have been bigger, too. I made some bad starts.
Story of my life.
I made some bad starts, but,
You made 2 really good ones,
well,
which are
They
no-brainers
don't-
every week,
they
but I mean, they
don't
both put up
change.
35 plus.
yeah.
And your double up in that one got stolen a lot by
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek
Hill.
We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Is
But-
he on the waiver wire?
Who? Tyreek Hill?
Yeah,
Not
I
yet.
put in a claim.
Okay.
Not
I
yet.
put in $2.
Derek.
Because y'all remember the group message.
I do.
When Reitmeyer was trying to figure out why the waivers weren't processing, I told him might help if he just drops Tyreek and Dalvin Cook.
Nobody left in my Kobe thing.
No, it's too soon.
I said Brian a Kobe joke today.
Okay.
It was actually more of a Kurt Cobain joke than a Kobe joke, but
too soon.
For Kurt Cobain?
Yes.
Oh,
I think
what's
we're
the time frame? Can we make fun of Kennedy?
Too soon.
For Kennedy?
Was
Gar-
your grandmother alive?
Hey,
Yep.
Garfield.
Jamie
okay.
Kennedy.
Garfield we can do?
Sure.
What about Lincoln?
Your grandmother.
No, hold on a second. You're
Your
talking
mother
about the
remember that.
president. I was thinking about Andrew Garfield because that's a Spider-Man movie.
I was thinking about the cat.
Oh,
Either
lasagna
way.
face.
Yeah.
Kitty deserves it out.
What?
Carry on.
Derrick Henry had
What
like
we talking
120 yards and 3 touchdowns at halftime. That was a fun game.
I remember
Which tells
saying
you
that.
It
too,
still wasn't the best first half that day.
and I thought he
No,
was.
it wasn't.
I thought he was going to score another one for
And Ryan Tannehill had that little 1 yard.
And I was like, wow, he should have had 4 touchdowns before half. I think like Tennessee's like this just isn't fair. Tannehill, you get you one.
Yeah.
It just shows how good DeForest Buckner is.
Yeah, DeForest Buckner. Yeah, they slowed Henry down. Like he still had over 100 yards 2 weeks ago, but they slowed him down. He wasn't getting big chunks.
Right.
Dude, he was just getting whatever he wanted in that first half.
Wait till the Woods Bennington gets drafted.
What about DeBrickashaw Ferguson coming out of retirement?
Josh?
But DeForest Buckner's
Anything?
fantastic.
Robinson had himself a day.
Did he now?
He is, I think, second or third in receptions on the year.
Yeah.
He's, I mean, even in a bad offense,
Between
like he's
two
still doing
quarterbacks
well.
that are trying to figure out which one's going to suck more.
Okay.
He's
I
the
know
only.
Do you know what surprised me most in that game?
Ron Robertson went to Powerland.
I mean, they put up 25. Is that defense that has been playing pretty well lately got lit up?
Yeah.
Because we talk about that because
division game though against Green Bay?
I
Like
agree.
Green Bay's
And
probably.
Akeem-
I
and
think the defense is
Yet again,
constantly
D tackle.
up.
Akeem Hicks didn't play.
Yeah, true.
He might be the
Hicks did
like.
play. Yeah, he probably
Khalil
is.
Mack's the best player on that defense, but the most important player on that defense probably Akeem Hicks, and he didn't play.
They had negative 1 point.
yep.
Yes.
Not great.
Okay.
But what I was going to say about Allen Robinson, just quick, is he on track to have a worse quarterback like track record than Larry Fitzgerald did?
Yeah.
Fitz had Palmer.
Fitz had Palmer and Warner.
Yeah, but he had stretch. I mean, Fitz has been playing for like 15 years.
True. And now he's got Kyler.
I bet
Yeah.
he'd make fun of Kennedy.
Kyler.
Yeah, but it's like
I'd play it, but you yelled at me.
Allen Robinson has
It's
had.
on there.
Yeah,
It's
Allen
on there.
Robinson has had Blake Bortles,
Stud.
Mitch Trubisky,
Stud.
and Nick Foles,
Stud.
Yeah.
and not playoff Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Stud.
One of them was a Super Bowl MVP.
All right, so
Wasn't when he was playing with Allen Robinson
yeah, I don't know, man.
or his son Allen Robinson II.
Who's gonna? All right, so what's gonna happen first?
Allen Robinson's going to sign a huge contract with the Texans.
Okay,
In the
never mind.
offseason.
All right, so he's gonna put
Was
Deshaun
that the
Watson.
question?
Well, it was gonna be all right. What's gonna happen first? Allen Robinson leave Chicago, or Nick Foles and Mr. Trubisky? Neither one of them are starting.
Nick will get traded. He always does.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if anyone's going to want to take that contract.
I'm
on him.
surprised that
Yeah,
somebody
well,
was
that
willing
is
to
That
take
was
him.
stupid of
True.
Chicago to take on. They should have went after
Who did it? What team?
Ryan Pace.
I think. Do you know what I think is the most
That's all
likely?
you need to know.
Andrew loves Ryan Pace, though, so there's that.
Not as much as he loves Green Bay.
That's true.
I think Nagy's going at the end of the season.
I had to.
Complains too much.
I think.
Got him.
I think he was actually a very creative. Like he brought in a very creative offense, like his
Yes.
first year there. But dude, since then, like it's.
Can we say
like
that about
Jasinski,
other
man.
coaches too?
Hmm?
I feel like in Los Angeles you could even say that. No, not the Chargers.
Sean McVay?
I mean,
You
Sean
think that
McVay's
candle's
first
already
year
burned
was
out?
like lighting it up week in and week out, and look how much money they've spent on receivers and quarterback. Like they got a lot of weapons, and I'm not saying like the offense is terrible, but it's not as explosive as it once was.
They're still doing creative things, but it's not. It's like the gimmicks of it.
I don't think they have the personnel for that just right now.
So
They really don't have like anybody that's really explosive, like from an athletic standpoint.
The
Like,
fact that they've lost Todd Gurley, like he unlocked a lot of things in that offense that they just can't get with the three guys they keep rolling through.
yeah,
I mean, Robert Woods feels his role fine. Cooper Kupp feels their role. Like they haven't changed.
right.
But it's the running backs that unlocked a lot of things that they just don't have right now. Cam Akers
So
should
how
be
long
getting a lot of
does
carries.
Cliff Kingsbury's system last? Oh, Cliff Kingsbury's system last.
As long as Kyler Murray can stay healthy and can still run.
and Hopkins says so.
Well, I mean, because Kyler did fine last year without Hopkins, but Hop's taking it to another level. But I mean, he was
I think
fine
that's
last
why
year.
that trade was so.
And Justin Herbert fella.
He's good.
He's
He's
going to be
playing well.
drafted
Too high. Too high.
I guarantee you he'll get drafted too
He
high.
may. I'm sticking. DK had a big game, 10 catches, 177 yards. DK is the leading receiver in the NFL right now, followed by
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill
Kelce.
and
Travis
Kelce. So
Beat you to it.
weird
well,
1,
I
2,
said
3. I
one,
wouldn't have
I was
thought
trying
that
to go
beginning of the
with
year. That wouldn't have been my top 3.
It all changed on Sunday when one dude had 200 yards in the first quarter, but whatever.
True.
Mike Davis came back down to earth.
Mike Davis is man. He started off those first couple weeks in
Yeah.
relief of McCaffrey, and it was like, dude, why has this dude not been a starting running back in the NFL?
Why hasn't nobody tried to trade
Right.
for him?
And
He
the
had like 7 or 8 magic beans, and he's used them all up.
past couple weeks,
He was-
What? Was that on your soundboard, or was that coming out of your mouth? All right.
That was all.
Did you say that at Powerland?
Real quick on Scorp's team, Kamara
So,
down to earth. Miles Sanders.
So, no offense.
I don't even know what to say about Miles Sanders.
Those are
honestly.
2 first-round drafted running backs that put up.
a combined
10.9.
10.9.
I think Kamara is a mixture of Taysom Hill's running more, and I think Kamara's probably put out with the season.
You know what the problem
I think
is?
he's
I see an early exit for New Orleans.
Taysom Hill
Yeah.
started 2 games. How many targets do you think Kamara has? Not catches, just targets.
2.
Jake?
4.
I bet he hasn't been targeted once.
He's had 3 targets.
So close. I was
I
gonna
think
go
he's
there.
had 3 targets and 1 catch in today's bit. That's where he gets his numbers.
Yeah, it is. It's not from running the ball.
No.
He's not. He's. I mean, he's
He's
I'm
been
not saying
scoring.
he's a
He's
bad
been
runner,
scoring touchdowns,
Yeah.
but he gets it through the air.
He understands.
I think I think he had one of the 2 starts that Taysom Hill had. He didn't have a catch. I think that might have been
Yeah,
the first game
that
of his
was
career
his
that he
career.
didn't have a
Yep.
catch. So there's that.
There's that. All right. Well, neither of these teams is going to make the playoffs. So hey, sayonara. All right. Let's go to
What's that mean?
our. It means. I think that means bye in Spanish.
Hope that was adios.
I think it's they have masculine, feminine. I think this is the feminine form. Yeah. Is that not right? Is it Italian? Is it Italian?
Well, it has an odd feel to
I don't
the
know.
pod tonight. Does it not feel just a little
Because we're
strange?
using Ryan's computer.
Mm.
Ryan was going to host. I tried to talk him into it. He wouldn't do it.
Indeed.
I had my JT voice and everything.
He did. He did good. He did
Give
a
it,
good
give it a
intro.
little test run.
Like me, I'm JT, man.
Is that it?
No, that's not at all what you did earlier. It was really-
What the heck? That's not even.
Oh,
no.
ladies and
Shots
gentlemen, boys and
fired.
girls, children of all ages, tonight, the Fantasy Football
Ah,
Podcast. Featuring balls to the wall, Brian Roberts.
I'm even
Quick, slow feet, Ryan Roberts. Jake, Coach Ruth. And JT, the commish. All right, boys, how we doing?
That's pretty much how it goes. Yeah,
Okay.
you can do it. All right. So next, Week 12 review. Let's go to the Fantasy Phenoms.
Oh,
and
now we're just
Ryan
bringing
Robertson
up old stuff, huh?
with Baba Booey, Andrew Ransdale. All right. Original projection 118, 120. This was predicted to be a close matchup. Didn't turn out that way.
Yep.
I'm gonna place
Derek Carr.
I'm gonna place the blame on Derek Carr.
That's what he looked like out there on that field. I get you. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Hi.
I told y'all the other day, I've had
You've had a rough go.
Matt Ryan and Derek Carr the last 2 weeks have not gotten me double
Because
digits.
Matt
combined.
Ryan sucks.
That's because Julio Jones got hurt and he gets lost without that fella.
And Matt Ryan sucks. Overrated quarterback.
Matt Ryan.
How did Matt Ryan get on my roster?
I trade him to you.
There you go. So that meant he
Wow.
was on your roster.
Yeah, I had already given up on the season. I was trying to help everybody else out.
You would give it up in the season? Shut up. Shh. He doesn't know that. Yeah, I'm gonna place the blame on Derek Carr, and then
Then you put blame on after that. I think I might have just had a mild stroke.
I don't think it was mild. Your face is drooping.
I mean, I wouldn't have done anything different from there
Not
on.
my face.
I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 37 yards, but I mean, I just don't know how much you can expect out of CEH.
He won't get any points for me this week.
Because he's on your bench.
He's on my bench and he hasn't practiced 2 days. He's sick. Hopefully he
ain't got the COVID.
Hopefully he does have an illness that holds him out. And Le'Veon
He
Bell.
wants to say it.
No,
He won't say it.
I said
he does want.
They
to.
said he's got a stomach bug.
He
So
won't
hopefully he
say
sits
it.
out, and then Le'Veon comes out and just does terrible,
Like Alien?
and they bench him or cut him. No, not like Alien.
Stomach bug. That's what I thought of.
He won't say it, but he
What
wants
if
to.
he's got the norovirus?
Yeah, it's
I've
Jordan.
had-
Which
I gotta
one I'm
hospital.
using for which situation?
Okay. You had some solid starts. Dallas Goedert played well.
Got it.
Green Bay did well. Chris Carson, close to his projection.
He only got like 7 carries.
Yeah,
but he looked good.
Yeah. Robert Woods, right around his projection. Terry McLaurin. It really came down to Derek Carr.
No, it really came down to Detroit Lions defense is terrible, and Deshaun Watson did whatever he wanted to on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Keenan Allen had a nice day. Chubb had a nice day. Jefferson had a good day.
It's the worst game Keenan Allen's played in like a month and a half.
Tunyon had a good day.
He picks him up. And
That was the first time that Tunyon's had a good game since they said that his name was Tunyon and not Tunyon.
Yep, I think Andrew picked him up on like Saturday.
They interviewed Ice Cube after his game for him.
He said,
What'd
what
he
did he say?
Today was a good day.
Do not go into your rant about what today's
Do you know what
good day
national
is.
today's a good day is?
I don't know what he just said, but
What is National Today is a good day?
Yeah.
National
Good Day Day.
thank you.
Does it share a
Not sure.
day
It has
with
nothing to do with this.
any other?
No.
No, it just
Ice Cube.
based off the lyrics of the song about the Lakers and all this stuff and the weather. They actually tried to.
420.
It was like an entire Reddit
You would
post where
think,
somebody figured
But they're
out
not
what
going
the
to put it on
day
Hitler's
was.
birthday.
We're towing the line.
It's true.
What day?
He doesn't remember.
You
Now. Look
what?
it up.
You've got to look this up. All
I
right.
was trying to filibuster for a while because I saw him looking.
Travis Fulgham.
Just put him on your bench, buddy.
This point.
But he didn't have a choice really this week.
But he didn't have a choice.
But he did have a
Because-
choice.
Thielen was on COVID list. You know what's kind of bad is like you look at Andrew's team. So his 2 worst scorers probably will not be on his starting roster going into the playoffs. Where Thielen will be plugged in there, and if he gets Gaskin or
Gaskin's supposed to be back this week.
Mixon back, and they get plugged into that,
I don't
look
think
how-
he's going to get Mixon.
Mixon
back.
looks
I
like he's
don't
going to be out
either,
for the
but
year. David Johnson will go back, probably.
Gaskin going in there. Look how good Andrew's team could really be. I think Cooks' numbers are about to go up with the suspension of.
Will Fuller the 5th.
Mhm.
So
Mike called 4th.
again, but that could also have a negative impact on Watson as
It
quarterback.
could.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll get Mark Andrews back. Yeah, I mean, Andrews got a good team. He for sure does.
January 20th.
Okay.
January 20th.
Okay.
What
National
year?
Good Day Day. 1992.
Okay.
That was a good day. Okay. Yeah, so you're right. His 2 lowest scores, he could easily replace that with some of these guys coming off the COVID list, some of these guys
Go!
coming off the IR. If his team's healthy going into next week, I'm probably going to pick him, regardless of whoever he's playing.
Yeah, it's a good team.
It's a good team. Squad's good. Solid squad. All right. So going to let's see what we got next. We have I gotta go back to week 12. Going down the list, we've got turd sandwiches versus the 08 Lions. Michael clinched a playoff spot with this win. The original projection being 121 to 114. Jake had a rough Thanksgiving, and Michael had a good Thanksgiving,
Yes,
he
but
did.
you broke bread with the Pilgrims.
and ended up turning the tide 135 to 94. Will Fuller,
Went out with a bang.
he did. Best game of the season, and he's not going to play another game this season. Not going to play the first game of next
Week
season.
1 next year. Not going to happen. But hey, he didn't get hurt. He didn't have a season-ending injury,
you're
but
right.
he figured out a way to miss 5
He did.
games.
What do you think it was?
My body's too healthy. I've
I
got
don't know,
to do
because him
something.
and somebody else on the team.
Yeah, because collective bargaining, they can't say what they tested positive for.
Yeah.
That's why, 3 years ago, everybody tested positive for Adderall and got
Yeah.
suspended.
Right.
It's like, come on now.
Come on.
What's
What's
all you gotta do-
Adderall code for?
All you got to do is go to the doctor and say, you know what? I can't concentrate. And they're just slinging that to you, dude.
And the Adderall.
Yeah, they'll give you the Adderall as well.
All right, okay.
Okay.
So yeah, Michael's going to be
Y'all haven't
down.
asked for Adderall?
Michael's going to be down Will Fuller going into the playoffs, which is going to hurt. And that's for sure going to hurt his team because that's been his big boom guy.
That's been his most consistent player, as weird as that is to say.
Yeah. Kenyon Drake's kind of found his way.
I think that's about to trim back now.
Think so?
He got more production because Kyler Murray's injured, and Kyler's starting to get healthy again. So I think he'll start trending down a little bit. And how long can you ride that Giants defense?
They have been playing extremely well.
The Giants have been playing well.
And all they're doing is hurting themselves. There's no way they're making the playoffs.
They're not hurting themselves.
Well, I'll tell you, they play the Seahawks and the Cardinals the next 2 weeks. I don't know how great they're going to be. Might have stopped last week.
Evan Ingram had a big game, dude. 6 receptions, 129 yards. Dude, I don't ever know what to think about Evan Ingram.
Well, if they're playing the Bengals, I think you can start him.
Okay, fair enough. But I really don't. Here's my thing about Evan Ingram. He has the potential to be like one of those top 5 tight ends.
Yeah.
But he has so many games where he's just like.
I think that's more Daniel Jones than it is.
We were talking about Kyle Pitts earlier, the tight end for Florida that's probably going to go in the top half of the first round. That might be the player we should have compared him to.
Trey Burton.
Physical freak athlete tight end.
I just want to throw Trey Burton out there. I don't know why.
Trey Boo Boo?
I mean, he runs the ball.
That boo-boo.
I said Aaron
He
Hernandez
threw that
earlier,
ball.
and that's what made me think of like.
We didn't say.
Okay, Brian did. But like one of the things about him that like stuck out to me was he was tight end
It's
and
actually
get like
Jake that brought him up.
reverses but
Yeah, I mean,
and Trey Burton's using that same manner.
right.
So that's when y'all were saying that popped in my head.
Yeah. I like Trey Burton.
A.J. Brown, man. Solid year.
Yes, he is.
Solid year.
Yeah, A.J. Brown's played well, man.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown's played well.
He is so hard to tackle.
Did you draft MJ?
Yes, this is number 1 wide
Good
receiver.
draft pick.
Yeah.
Good draft pick.
Other than being out for a while, he's had like 2 or 3 bad.
He got
weeks.
hurt, week 1?
Yeah, well, what hurt me this week was at the last minute, I really didn't know if the Juju game was going to happen. And I'll be honest, it was Sunday when I made that switch.
It was.
And Brian hates when I do this. Other league, I had to make the switch before. And it
We don't care about other leagues.
But I'm explaining my rationing. So I forgot about it in ours with the message board. So I switched it in that one because I put Mike Williams in both lineups. And I was hoping for a shootout in that game as well, and it didn't happen. That would have helped. And if Ezekiel Elliott just wasn't playing like a dude who really should be dropped, but you can't drop your first-round pick as long as they're healthy. So
I don't know, buddy. I'm thinking about dropping mine.
Yeah, I'm contemplating it. But I mean, other than that, just move Eckler, who I was glad to see back on the field, 18.4 with no touchdown.
Yeah.
And maybe work a receiver like, I don't know.
I truly believe
it's not a very good system.
you got hurt the most out of Dak's injury.
I'm pretty sure.
And we,
Well,
okay.
No.
Hold on. He had that.
I know, but
And I had Michael
but
Gallup.
he had a wide receiver and the running back. His running back went to shit.
Well, I had
Sorry,
I had the actual
Went
guy.
to
Sorry, Mama.
shit.
And
And-
he's talking about the point differential jumping off since then.
And CD Lamb.
Okay. I'm gonna follow this with you. I'm gonna go down this with you because I think you might be onto something. Because Dak would have came back down to earth. You cannot sustain that.
No.
Dak's not that guy.
But he was.
Dak's good.
I had to
Not
automatically.
Dak's good.
I had to automatically drop 2 players as soon as that injury happened. Because Michael Gallup is not getting in my
That's
roster
true. He had
without
Michael
that.
Gallup.
Right.
And Michael Gallup.
But you also bench Gallup a lot.
He benches him.
What are you gonna do here?
I had 2 starters.
You start him, you sit him. You can't do both.
And at least on yours, you knew that guy was gone. Like me, I'm still holding out. Like, do I put him on the bench? Do I
All right. So you say I'm gonna make your case. You're gonna make his case.
How about
Well, me
Dak
and him
Prescott
on
was
the
the
same
number
page.
1 player?
You make his case. I'll make his case.
Dak Prescott was the number 1 player in
Still.
fantasy when he got hurt.
Still, yeah, number one player.
Okay. What week did he get hurt?
Week 5.
He was getting rushing touchdowns.
American touchdowns, so he gets hurt week 5.
And Zeke had put up.
Zeke's point totals through week 5. All right.
Got
26, 19, 14, 16, 23. Starting week 6, 8, 5, 7, 7. Bye week 18.
There's 1 game
And
back
2.
in double digits.
all right.
Okay,
Dak.
let me go with Dax.
Dak.
17, 44, 34, 48. The game
Then
got
got
hurt
hurt.
12.
Then got hurt.
Right. But when Dak got hurt, you had to make a choice to switch it up. Jake had to leave Zeke in because Zeke is healthy.
Yes,
So
that's what I was getting
Jake
at.
keeps putting him in there. You replace
And
that
then even
point
CD
difference.
Lamb.
Have
in
you
his
seen
last
my
2
quarterbacks
games,
the last 2 weeks?
He started Derek Carr.
CD Lamb had 22 and 16 in the 2 weeks before.
It's easy, big
And
guy.
then he got hurt.
More coffee.
What Brian's making the argument for is that you knew you had that guy going and you had to replace one guy in your lineup. And I will defend it by saying quarterbacks in our league are a little bit easier to go pick up on a waiver wire compared to Ezekiel Elliott, which is the first-round pick. And there's no other option to really go out there and replace him.
You ain't got so many Big Daddy.
And you can't put him on the bench like you could drop Dak. You can't really put Zeke on the bench, but I guess I should have.
I would have.
Well,
as soon as Zach Martin got hurt.
Who else? I mean, you're saying that, but you had a rookie running back. We're talking about a guy who everyone in here said over the last 5 years has been a consistent top 3 running back.
You know what? But you know how we can fix this? Quarterbacks 6-point passing touchdowns.
No, Andrew. No.
That's the argument we was about to start making.
I'm not saying we weren't both affected, but you said that he was affected more
He was.
when I literally lost the player.
Yes, but he was still affected more.
I guess he's talking about the trickle down because I haven't been able to really move on because I haven't dropped him or taken him out of my lineups.
Jake's still trying to work
The
out
bigger
relationship.
problem is Andy Dalton sucks.
I think the offensive line injuries with it. But then again,
Red Rifle.
it still makes me mad that they were running Dak as much as they were, which
Yeah.
was just stupid on their part. With the way Zeke was running the ball with Dak in there, which we all talked about on the podcast. The first 5 weeks, Zeke looked good, and like they were giving goal line,
Zeke bad.
carries to Dak, and I'm like, why are you doing this when you got like I don't know. If I have Derrick Henry and I'm inside the 10-yard line, he better. Yeah, he better. I don't like Tannehill running down there. If you pass it, that's different. But if you run the quarterback, to me, that's stupid. I don't think Tannehill should be running for touchdowns.
No, he shouldn't.
With a guy like that. And I don't think
I think the justification the offensive coordinator's going like, hey, everybody knows we're giving it to this guy. We'll just sneak the quarterback out.
Stop him.
Chandler Bing over here is a little bit edgy tonight. Have you noticed?
Chandler Bing.
Could I be any more offended? Y'all don't watch Friends enough to know
Not
what
really.
I'm talking about.
All right, so look, let's wrap this matchup up. All right, Michael. Good
wow.
win. Yeah, good win. Congrats. We thought. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think he's gonna make the playoffs. And well, I was wrong.
He
Clinch.
talked to O'Brien, and O'Brien.
He did. I should have talked to O'Brien weeks ago, months ago, years ago.
You can talk to O'Brien.
Not years ago.
Years
months
ago.
All right. Our last matchup that we need to review from Week 12 is victim of the system and bye week. This was a good matchup, though. This was a very good matchup.
This was not a good matchup.
And then all of a sudden, it went kablooey.
This was not.
Kansas City started their first quarter.
He was getting his ass beat.
Yeah, he was.
You know the problem with that is though, even if
No, you take Tyreek
David
out.
Montgomery had a good game,
He did.
which
Who
I've been
would've
talking.
thought?
I've been
Who
talking
would've
about
thought?
David Montgomery every week.
Who would have thought? Dude, Tyreek.
Have you seen those people that were tweeting his 16-game pace after the first quarter?
Yeah. Oh, Tony Romo. Because I'm watching that game, and obviously, I like Tony Romo. He's on pace for 1,000 yards in this game, Jim.
Yeah.
And he was. That was the crazy
He was
part.
on pace. I think they said for 16,000 yards.
Yeah.
For a season.
Yeah. He really was. He was on pace for 1,000 yards in one game. Now, obviously, that wasn't going to
Insane.
happen.
It
But,
was
dude,
insane.
Tampa was press covered man-to-man on Tyreek Hill. He's not the fastest guy on the field. And, Patrick Mahomes isn't the best quarterback in the NFL. They're not going to make that happen.
Right.
The first quarter, dude, that was silly.
Dumb.
That was like playground football. It really was.
I don't know what the hell Reitmeyer's problem is with me. I don't know what the hell's problem is. He's got to get over it. All right.
Did
I
he
like
put
the guy.
170
Huh?
week 2?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I put up 160. He puts up 170.
And can I also say, he did not have a very good game at the 1 o'clock games?
No.
It was good.
No.
Dalvin struggled.
It was him and Mike Evans in that game. I was like, holy crap. He put up almost enough in just that game.
Overall, you
To
look
beat
at this. He had a mediocre week.
He had 5 people get single digits. We only start 9 or 10 people.
Start 10.
It was really just 3 guys that made a difference.
It was, it was 3, but
But it was
golly, dude. Tyreek
Yes.
Hill. All right. Receivers you would draft over Tyreek Hill going into the next year right now.
Devontae
Adams.
Adams, DK Metcalf.
You would draft DK over
Yes.
Tyreek? I think I'm taking Tyreek.
All right.
There's
All
too many
more
mouths to
touchdown
feed.
opportunities
Pull up-
with Kelsey.
Pull up DK for me.
Casey.
Let's do just a week by week comparison. We all know what we're really here to talk about this week. So let's just.
Who's got more touchdowns?
Tyreek.
Who's got more yards? DK.
No.
That DK does. Who has
Week
more,
one.
DK's
Week
leading.
one. How many points
who
did
has
DK
more
put up?
receptions? Tyreek.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's
yeah. And I mean, you're picking between probably the top quarterback and like number 2, number 3
17.5.
quarterback.
17.5 week one.
Yep.
Tyreek put up 13. Week 2.
17.2.
19.3. Week 3.
17.
18. Week 4.
12.6.
14. Week 5.
24.3.
16. Week 6.
3. Oh, bye week.
4.
Arizona, he had 3.3.
7. All right. He put up 14. Week 8.
34.1.
23.8. They're basically on par with
Yeah,
each other.
yeah.
Week 9.
20.
28. Week 10, he had a bye.
And he had 3.8.
So he puts up 4 on his bye. He
Yeah.
puts up 3 on his
They've
bye.
had pretty.
Week 11,
12.
21. Week 12,
22.7.
66.4.
Then I would take Tyreek Hill over DK, but if somebody took DK, I get it. I get it because DK is his jump from year 1 to year 2.
Yeah.
His jump from year 2 to year 3
Yes.
could be
It could be.
wide receiver.
Hey.
one.
Yeah.
can I admit that I can't say that Tyreek Hill's overrated anymore?
Why were you ever saying that though?
Because
Like going into this,
He thought he was a burner that was a big play guy.
He's learned.
He is.
He's
He
learned
put
the
up
entire
66.
route tree now, so I can't say it anymore. But used to, like, if he wasn't getting those like reverses or like
yeah.
wide receiver screens, taking it to the house, or just taking them over the top, he wasn't effective. Now,
he's what
don't really know how you stop.
He's what
the guy.
everybody thought Ted Ginn was going to be.
Dude,
That's legit.
he honestly,
He can catch.
like he could be like a faster AB.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I could
Which
ever
is
play.
scary.
I don't think I
What's
could
the
ever play
fastest
safety.
He's been recorded in a game.
I couldn't play safety in a middle school game. So I'm not saying I'm not even trying to say I
Where
could
is
play
this going?
I'm not saying I could play safety in the NFL. What do you do if you're a safety with Kelsey and Hill? Do you stay back? Do you cheat up? Because I mean, Kelsey gets uber targeted, so you're like, oh, I got to cheat every time he looks that way, and then you just get beat over the top.
Like
Like,
to be faster now.
what do you do?
22 points.
Curtis Samuel's been recorded at 20.
Didn't Daniel Jones get recorded as faster than that on his run where he tripped and fell?
Yeah, he
But I don't know. That might be. I don't know if that's with the ball or without the ball though, because I think that's a big difference.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The biggest record is always on a reception. Some running play of sorts. They've got possession of the football running. That's where they do the recording.
Oh, okay.
Speed recording.
Yeah. All right. So there's potentially 2 receivers you may take over Tyreek Hill going into the next year. Would you take Michael Thomas over Tyreek Hill?
No.
Well, it depends on if Taysom Hill's the starter next year. Definitely not. If Drew Brees is the starter next year, probably not because
Jameis Winston.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
got his eyes fixed.
I mean, honestly, maybe because they're going to throw it.
Next year's going to be a big wide receiver year.
I think it will.
It will be. Next
We
year
had
will be a
one
big
wide receiver get taken in the first this year, and Devontae was the first pick in the second round.
Yep.
That's the league trend.
Looking at Brian's team, Kyler and Hop only combining for 16.9. That hurt because that's been the
Yeah.
basis of your team since
it's my
McCaffrey
bread and
went
butter.
out. Calvin Ridley had a touchdown, had 14, decent game,
I'll
but
take it.
they're putting up 43.
He needs Julio.
He does
to
need
unlock
Julio.
his
Julio needs him. I
Yeah.
think it's symbiotic.
Good word.
Thank you.
That's why you're the host.
James Robinson is running back 3 or 4 on the year. I can't remember.
He's
which
just
one.
been
Who would have thought? Great
By
pickup.
Andrew Renzo.
he's been super consistent.
I wouldn't have either. Great pickup, dude. Robbie Anderson. That was a great draft pick.
Somebody
Brown,
said,
I like
somebody
your
said
team
the
a lot.
other day the entire Jacksonville backfield, other than James Robinson, doesn't have 10 carries on the year.
Yeah, that
So
he
he's
is.
been getting. I think he's got like almost 200, and I think everybody else combined's got like 7.
If you have Robinson on your team and you watch him in the course of a game, he stresses you out. You can't watch him.
Really?
Yeah, because he doesn't do much. And then all of a sudden, there's that one drive where he starts putting it together.
Mhm.
He's like how you describe Melvin Gordon. The more he gets the ball, the
Volume.
better. Yeah,
Death by
that's what
1,000
it is.
cuts.
Yeah, I mean, some guys are just. That's how Derrick Henry is. Derrick Henry's not the most efficient player. It's just volume's gonna.
Derrick Henry and Marshawn Lynch are the 2 most comparable players, in my opinion. It's like they're not that great first, second, third quarter, but once they wear that defense down, trying to tackle them the entire game, and then they break off that 40, 50-yard run.
And I think-
Adrian Peterson used to do that a lot.
I read this today. Derrick Henry's on pace to he has more yards and more touchdowns than AP's MVP year at this point in the season. I did not think that.
He was the one I last looked at, like Vegas odds for MVP. I think he was third or fourth.
He's not going to get it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's Mahomes.
it's Mahomes, Wilson,
I'd
Rodgers.
be
Rodgers.
will a running back ever
Wilson's
win
falling
again?
off hard.
Wilson
Yeah.
has fallen off.
Yeah, he
hard.
is because he was the favorite. Now he's third.
I think it's on.
Dalvin had a good little argument.
Yeah, Dalvin
I
had an
don't know
argument.
why.
I think it's
Oh,
kind of like the
fall apart.
NBA though. I think the MVP just has to go through Mahomes. Like the NBA has to go through LeBron.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
But
Mahomes have to
has
do?
the league already gotten Mahomes fatigue? Like they're going to stop voting for him for everything?
I
Like
think
they've
it
stopped
will
voting
get
for
it
LeBron?
will get that way.
I'm
Yeah,
saying, has it already in his third season?
I don't think it
starting,
has
fourth
yet,
season
but
starting?
I can see that
Nah,
coming.
he's got to get another one under his belt.
I can see that coming though.
So who would you? Let's talk about it real quick. Who would you vote for MVP? JT's going to go Mahomes.
I'm going to go Mahomes.
Yeah, I'm going Rodgers. Just because he doesn't have the weapons around him and he's still putting it up.
I mean, that's a pretty good argument.
You can.
And you can't.
I think you're wrong, but you
Look,
can.
For reasons
I
we all know. For
You
reasons
know
we
why
all
I'm not
know, we
taking
can't.
Mahomes, obviously.
We can't. We can't talk positively about Rodgers. We just
Because
cannot.
Andrew's a Packers fan?
Yes.
Okay.
Rodgers is good. Rodgers is second or third best quarterback in the league. But dude, I've never seen a quarterback play like Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying that because he's on
Yeah.
the fantasy team. I'm saying that, dude. I really do. I think
You
in
know-
20 years,
What about that Joe Montana?
I think in 20 years we could say Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback that ever played.
5 or 6 years ago, I was saying Aaron Rodgers might be the most talented quarterback I've ever seen.
Mhm.
He
Can't
didn't
say
watch
that.
football when Brett Favre was
I
playing
can't say that anymore.
No, I can't either.
because he started seeing videos of Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is overrated. We've talked
No,
about
he's not
this.
over. No, I don't think Brett Favre's overrated.
When people talk about him being the best quarterback that's ever played,
Okay.
that's
He
when
is.
it gets. That's when it upsets me.
Okay.
This guy.
He is the best quarterback to ever play again.
I think he's just a gamer. I think that's all he is.
That's all you got
I
to
don't
do.
think he's. I think that's. I think Brett Favre could have played multiple positions just because he's a gamer.
I feel
Because
like
Brett Favre's the greatest athlete to ever strap up. for a
Brett
football
Favre is a
game.
rich man's Ryan Fitzpatrick, in my opinion.
the richest.
Just a gunslinger
Like
that
Steven-
doesn't care.
like Stephen Cohen.
But
And he
he's got
doesn't
more
have to
talent.
care when you're the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. You have no worries.
You think Brett Favre could have played in like this season right here where you don't have fans?
Oh, yes. He
Because
would
I
have
don't
a
know if
great
Brett
time.
Favre could. I think
He would
Brett
have a
Favre is
great
that
time.
guy that just
he feeds
just
off of
feeds off of the
He
game.
does, but I mean, he's
in the crowd.
he would have a good time.
Y'all know who the number one player in fantasy is this year?
Kamara?
No.
it. It was Kamara up until like 2 or 3 weeks
Cook?
ago.
Kyler
Cook is
was
seventh.
for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Kyler Murray probably.
Yeah,
is number
Kyler,
one.
yeah.
Kyler
Yeah,
Murray
Kyler.
is one. Yeah,
Kyler.
I think
Kyler's
Mahomes
still
is
one.
3 behind him.
Yeah.
And Wilson's 15 behind them.
Well, Kyler's got like 10 rushing touchdowns on the season.
Yeah. No,
You
he's
know,
had-
another one that fell off quick, but I think would have been in the discussion if he hadn't had like
Dak Prescott.
3
I'm
weeks
just
of
kidding.
bad
Just
luck.
kidding.
Josh Allen.
Yeah,
Buffalo
Josh
had
Allen
a
was
lot
in
of
it.
games, and they had a chance to
Buffalo,
finally win that
man.
division, which
Yeah.
I think they're still kind of locked in to win it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Miami's played well, but
That's,
I think they got,
there's
like, 2
been
games
3
off.
teams that have done very well that everybody said was going to fall off, and that's Buffalo, Miami, and Cleveland.
Yeah.
And they've all done
Yeah.
well.
Cleveland's got like the quietest
like
8
that's the
wins in
fra-
the league.
I think
right
it's
now.
the fakest thing that like
Oh, they'll get destroyed in the
Yeah, they're
playoffs.
I don't think that.
Good.
I don't. Hold on. I don't know if they will because I think their defense is pretty good and they run the ball extremely well.
I think
They
the
do run the ball
fakest record in the league is Pittsburgh being 11-0.
It
They
is.
have not really played
Don't get me
anybody.
started on Pitt.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Sure.
Jordan Powell. He's got that tattooed on his arm.
Hey, lastly, to wrap this up, good start, Wayne Gallman. Good start, Wayne Gallman.
Yeah.
are you going to keep him over Mostert?
Oh, no. Not
You
much.
start both.
You know what's
Uh,
happened?
What if McCaffrey
Brian
does
has
come back?
replaced like Robbie Anderson
I'll
and
figure
Jamison
that out.
Crowder's like that guy that nobody believes in, but you can't take him out of the roster because they're competitive. Just replace those two with Wayne Gallman's doing the same exact thing. Like, you don't feel happy about starting him, but you can't take him out because he's been doing fantastic.
Right.
Well, Brian's gotten to the point where his lineup he can't start Chris Godwin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
I
is
know.
crazy because
And that's wild.
that was your number 2 wide receiver you drafted, right?
Mhm.
Took Hop and then him.
That's wild. I would have never thought that.
Yeah.
But yeah, good roster construction. Good draft. Good,
I'm
you had a
proud
good,
of it.
you had a
It's-
very good draft.
I'm backing into the playoffs.
Yeah, but you had the second most points. It's
Yeah,
just- it just
I need
came down
McCaffrey
to
to come back and they have a chance. That's not
All
looking like
I was thinking about this today at work.
things.
Can we say that? Can we say that the first 3 picks of the first round would have been busts?
You'd
I
have
can say
to.
that. Yeah, I don't know
It's
how
crazy
you
that
get
the
around.
safest pick that was number 4 was like
Yeah.
really the best pick. Because
I mean,
1 and 2 have been hurt, and
That's the way I look at it.
Zeke lost Dak in his offensive line and started fumbling for
Yeah.
some reason in his career. But yeah, like just the first 3 picks, just crazy.
Yeah, they
Don't
have.
care.
Look how many first rounders have it. Like even Michael Thomas hasn't really.
Let's
been-
name them. Let's name them.
All right, so
Yeah, thank you.
You had Saquon.
So
went one.
Barkley was first.
let's say
McCaffrey
busted
second.
pick.
Busted pick. CMC
Busted
on a per game, great, but he
Oh,
hadn't
yeah,
played
he played.
much.
Per
So,
game, 3 out of 11.
Zeke
Bust.
bust.
Henry.
Henry's
Henry
been
was a
hit. Michael Thomas
Thomas.
bust.
Bust.
Six
Dalvin Cook's
was
been good.
Six
Dalvin Cook, because
Cook.
Cook would have went
7 was
CEH.
CEH. I
I'm
gotta
gonna
say
call it
bust on that.
Yeah, because he's not replaced. He's not bringing back first round value
Miles
at all.
Sanders,
Miles Sanders was
8,
next.
and I'm
I would
calling it a
say
bust.
bust.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think Boston Scott's filled in that role just as well as Sanders has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that
Jacobs.
Was it Joe Mixon next?
Joe
Jacobs
Mixon.
is
Joe
good.
Mixon.
No, Joe Mixon went second, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah,
Joe
yeah,
Mixon
Joe
was second
Mixon
round.
got-
That's
yeah, that's right.
Scorp took him and traded him.
Kamara has been.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kamara's been good.
Jacobs is still like top
No,
5.
Jacobs
Was
good.
he
10. He went 10, but he's been like top 5 running back.
Yeah. So
Which-
what? Half?
He
Not
just ain't got in the end zone much.
Not
His
really.
yards
Half
have
of the
been up there,
first
but he can't
round?
get
1,
in.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the
Wow.
6 of 10.
the ones that we agree have been positive. Henry, Kamara, Cook, and
I could honestly
Jacobs,
see
which
in
is-
certain situations all of them could be on a bench. Well, like either injured where they're on the bench anyways, or
Yeah.
bench because they're
2 of them
so
are out
bad.
for the season. Thomas has been out most of the season.
Yeah.
CEH has been relegated to splitting duty. Mixon
He said duty.
and who else was it? Miles Sanders is
yeah.
ineffective.
Barkley. I mean, if he,
If he'd have played,
well,
he'd
you
have
said
been
the same
fine.
thing about CMC.
Right. Well, that's why these guys were drafted, brother.
But
And you can
I
say the
don't-
same thing
I
about
don't-
Michael Thomas, but we don't know.
We don't know because Drew Brees,
the breeze.
CEH, Sanders, and Zeke. I just feel like had just not been worthy of that first round pick. But I get it. I would have done the same thing.
Their situations have changed from when we drafted them for sure.
Yeah.
Everything crumbled around them except for one guy who's might be on the best offense in football. He just doesn't get touches. That's CEH.
Yeah.
I didn't need to tell you the best offense in football.
Nah. I'll tell you this though, dude. Wildest thing, Vegas. They have the second best offensive football if they're playing the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They do.
Dude, they had the Chiefs number.
You know when they have the worst offensive football?
When-
When I start Derek Carr. Because I'm a dummy.
He only had 0.6 more points than David Carr this past week.
Yeah.
That's bad. I don't know. David Carr might have lost a fumble in the backyard.
He only had 0.6 points more than we did.
True.
See, you've stuttered so much, you're having to fight it back now.
I can't even make fun of it. I only stutter when I'm talking about Derek Carr.
Ryan, do you think you could have more than 0.6 points in an NFL game if you were a quarterback? I think you could. 0.6, you can do that.
Yeah.
Just got to run 6 yards. I'd get 6 yards.
I could throw a pass to myself. Then I get half a point for the pass. I mean, half a point for the catch. Whatever. 1 yard is 0.6. And then I get partial points for the passing yards.
They'd never see it coming.
They wouldn't. Hey, greatest quarterback alive. First completion was to himself.
All right, so let's do a little Week 13 preview. All right.
How did we do on our picks last week?
So, good. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, did anybody at the table win?
JT?
Okay, so I went 3-1. Because I didn't pick any of us to win, I don't think.
Yeah, all right, so Brian in the first one, we all went Scorp. You changed yours to me last second.
Good call.
Thank you, Brian. So Brian picked up one there. We all picked Michael except for Brian. So then So, all right. Reitmeyer, we all picked Reitmeyer except for Jake.
Sorry for having faith in you.
We went Baba Booey. Ryan and Jake went Baba Booey. Me and Brian went Ryan. So y'all pick up one. And then Broach, Jordan. Brian and Jake both end up with 3. Ryan ends up with 3. I got 2. Well,
So 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, 2-3?
Yep.
That's not a bad one.
That's a pretty good one.
I've had some 1-4s I feel like the past couple of weeks because I just can't pick certain people because they don't have enough Chargers.
It's not my team.
You got a lot of Chargers.
all right, little 13, Week 13
What the team?
matchup preview.
Walk this way!
Let's start off with bye week versus the 08 Lions.
When you just laugh like that, you sound like the dude on the Liberty Mutual commercials with the emu.
Yeah.
Yeah, do some light beach reading. That's what you sound like.
All right,
All right, Chandler.
which T Hill has more points? Taysom Hill, Tyreek Hill.
Well,
Y'all a little
I think
surprised that he put a healthy Allen on his bench against San Fran.
San Fran's defense actually started playing very well. But
I'm,
yes, I'm still surprised.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm
Let me see.
to the point where I'm
I don't
really
question
it. Yeah,
I don't.
I just
question
can't.
it.
Taysom Hill, when he picked him up and had him in the starting lineup that whole week, I was like, dude, Taysom Hill, first week, we have no clue what to expect. Taysom Hill's been good. It's a different offense.
He has 2 rushing touchdowns average.
Yeah.
His only 2 starts.
Yeah. Taysom Hill's a fun guy to watch, man. He's fun to. I just like watching him play football.
More fun than watching Tebow in Denver.
No, because you did not know what to expect.
That was.
I know what you didn't expect.
That was the best
Completed
football I've ever
passes.
seen.
That was a fun
Yeah,
football
it was.
season, dude. That was one of the most fun
And
football
then they
seasons.
beat Pittsburgh, and those Pittsburgh fans.
And dude, I was watching that game, but dude, you couldn't help just be happy for
Stupid
Tebow. You really
sickle
couldn't.
cell.
I know Ryan Clark, man.
He still blames that if he would have played in that game, that pass wouldn't have been completed.
I agree.
I mean,
I
I
Nobody
agree
can
with him
say
100%.
that.
Ryan Clark was a
Ryan
very
Clark.
good safety.
The fact that he had to play with Palomalo, who's one of the best safeties I've ever seen, but the dude just went rogue a lot. And
Yeah.
Ryan Clark said, "Hey, I got to cover the entire
Yeah.
field because he just gets a hunch and he goes."
Ryan Clark might be the best, like, I don't even know what to call him on ESPN. Analyst,
Commentator.
but he is he's on every show.
TV
If
personality.
they talk about NFL, he's on there.
Yeah.
And Ryan Clark's good. He's fun. All right. So, all right, we lost Brian. Ebron, you've been talking about Ebron
Can I ask
quite a
question?
bit.
What matchup are we doing?
Right,
Michael.
I haven't been paying attention.
You talked about Ebron, and
Yeah.
I've never really bought into Ebron, but Ebron just
Well, I mean,
he's solid.
Ebron's best career year came with luck, and
Yeah.
I think he kind of broke out of it a little
He
bit.
led the league in touchdowns.
He had a lot of pressure on him coming out because an early
Smith,
first round pick.
He was a 10th pick, 10th overall pick, I think.
Wow.
And he went to
early-
Detroit.
which,
That's where players go to die.
well, yeah.
Nah.
And I think it was kind of like the end of the Megatron era. They bring this guy in with a 10th overall pick, and
Yep.
everyone's like, "Oh, he's tall, he's big, he's a freak. He's going to do everything that Megatron did." And I think he tried to do too much, put a lot of pressure on himself over that, and didn't really work out. But I thought he had good years in Indy, and then no one picked him up. Me and you both talked about Carolina should have made a push
Yep.
for him. Didn't make a very big one. Goes to Pittsburgh, where some people were questioning, is he going to be even the starter there with
Vance McDonald.
Yeah, McDonald there.
Vance McDonald.
And, I think consistently throughout the year, he's found the middle of the field and kind of gotten open.
He still drops passes, but he's hard to cover, and he's big.
Are you and Vance McDonald related?
Well, I'm only related to Paul by marriage, so a lot
Okay,
of
so are
relation,
you and
no.
Vance McDonald related?
And
I don't know.
Possibly.
Me and Ronald definitely are.
Okay.
We like
it.
this.
can we also talk about how bad tight ends
My
have been
family
outside
tree.
of Kelsey and
Terrible tight
Kelsey
end.
and Waller and Hawkinson.
You want to get drafted in the NFL? Be a decent tight end, or just go to Iowa.
That
That's why I
means the
talk about
same
Pitt so
thing.
much.
That's true.
But is Ebron a top 5 tight end this year?
With as much as Pittsburgh
He's
started passing
definitely
the
a
past
top
few
10.
weeks, he's one of those ones where you don't have to worry about, am I going to start him every week? Like, yeah, go ahead and put him in there. You're going to get targets.
That's a good question. Let's look up tight ends real quick.
So Kelsey's 1, Waller's 2, Hawkinson 3.
Gronk
How
might
do
have
you say
moved
it's
up before.
not Tunyon?
Tunyon.
Tunyon. He is 4, but I feel like a lot of that came
It's
off
2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews.
Really?
Yep.
He's had like a couple
John-
really good games.
Spurt.
Yeah.
Okay.
John Smith, Gronkowski,
Yep.
Hunter Henry, Hurst, and Ebron.
After those first 3, I think I'd rather have Gronk than any of the rest of them.
But-
to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I didn't think that at the beginning of the year.
You know what I used to say? Like, TJ Hawkinson's the second best tight end in football. Just tongue in cheek, just saying that because I liked him.
Yeah.
Since I've said that, he's legitimately scoring about every week.
Yeah. He's
still-
better than
he's-
Waller over the past, I'd say, probably the past month.
Other than the Washington debacle, he's had 11, 8.8, 2.3 with the Washington, 12.4, 10, 14, 8.7, 9. But he's been
Yeah, he scores. I think he's scored about every single one of those weeks. He's not getting 30, 40, 50 yards.
Solid pickup.
Yeah. Marvin Hall, I think Detroit's about to cut him. That's what I just saw, or they're about to bench him one. to give some of the younger guys. That's what I read a little bit.
Isn't Marvin Hall a younger guy?
I don't know how old he is, but that's what I read. That Detroit was thinking about like moving on from those guys, moving on from Marvin Hall, giving those guys a chance. If that's the case, Marvin Jones could have a couple big games to end the season.
Is Danny Amendola healthy?
Oh, like he needs more help.
I mean, but seriously, like Marvin Jones is a touchdown magnet.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done.
But his touchdowns come in bunches. Either he doesn't score at all, or he scores 2 or 3 times, pretty much.
It's a touchdown magnet. But on Reitmeyer's team, if you have like a guy that can blow up for a couple touchdowns, dude, and you hit him, you get on the right week, golly, dude, Reitmeyer's team's tough.
Scorp just dropped Des Bryant.
I thought you just added Des Bryant.
Scorp just added Des Bryant.
Drop Rager.
He dropped Jalen Rager.
Back to you, Bob.
Does that change anything?
Yep, changes
Ross
what wide
Rivers
receiver is
did.
going to be on his bench.
Okay, all right. Dalvin against Jacksonville, over or under 20?
Over.
Under.
I'm gonna go the over as well. Jacksonville's defense. I don't
And I
think.
think they can jump out to a lead and he'll go.
I feel like this injury's really going to take form.
Okay, all right. Let's look at
I
Michael.
said it.
They took him off the injury report today, but he did have an ankle injury, so maybe they limit him. I don't know. But Alexander Madison, I thought was a really good backup. He's just stuck behind. He looked terrible in the game that Dalvin missed. Absolutely
He did.
terrible.
I'll tell you, Carolina's defense is really starting to form.
I feel like I said that maybe last week on the podcast. I was
They're
like,
not
I think they've been playing
cakewalk
because we
anymore.
even talked about it's not as big of a thing where Dalvin for sure was going to go off against Carolina, like we were going to say after week 1 or 2, where Carolina looked like they were going to give up the most rushing yards in league history.
Yeah.
I really give Phil Snow a lot of credit. I think a lot of
I was
progression up top.
surprised and how well he's done.
So
Yeah, they blew it into the game, but they did play well.
hey man, at this point we're playing for a draft pick
I
anyways.
don't like it. I don't like it.
I like seeing the promise moving forward.
I don't.
You drafted, 7 rookies on the defensive side of the ball? They've
Yes.
got a chance to be very good in a couple of years.
But they let Kirk
I think-
Cousins just pick them apart
That's where I think
within
we need
60
help.
seconds going
What's
down
your
the
dad call
field.
it?
You need
Panther prevent. And that's what they do.
They need
They've
a
done
lockdown
that for
corner.
years.
They need
I
a
think
lot
that
more
was
for
more on a college coordinator trying to hold an NFL offensive coordinator.
I think he was afraid of the big play because our
He was.
corners were playing 12 yards off.
It was.
They kept giving 20 yards. Though.
He didn't
That's
have
what
any faith
sucked.
in his defense. Is what it
I
really came down
guess.
to. He had no faith in
I
it.
always have an interesting end of the game strategy where if you're going
Tell
to
us,
bail,
Coach.
well, if you're going to bail off, send pressure.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to drop
They
secondary
rushed
guys,
3.
They
They rushed 3.
I do. We're not good at it as a Tar Heel defense, but they send Chaz Surratt at end of games when we play.
They blitz linebackers.
Yeah, they blitz the linebackers a lot.
Mr. Roberts.
You mean Panthers defense?
No, we're talking about Tar Heels.
That's
Nobody gives a shit about the Tar.
Sorry, Mama.
I think there's more Tar Heel fans in this league than Duke fans.
And nobody gives a shit about Duke football.
Uh,
Yeah, they do. I don't give a shit about Duke.
but
There's piles of manure being moved over Duke basketball.
any quarterback in the league outside of maybe what's his name, Hinton.
He's not a quarterback.
Any quarterback in the league can pick apart. Like if you're only rushing 3, they can pick apart defense.
If you got that long,
Yeah,
someone's going to get open.
any quarterback.
They're going to get open.
Boys, we gotta get to moving.
All right, let's get to moving. Let's look at Michael's team. All right, Michael's team.
Empty.
He's going to start. Kenyon Drake, Evan Ingram.
I think he's going to start.
Yeah, he'll start.
Booker.
Devontae Booker, I think he'll start him as well.
Yes,
Ron Fitzpatrick, it has 0 for his projection right now. So we have to imagine that Tua's going to play.
Yep.
So he starts Ben. Okay.
Against a
Washington.
strong Washington defense.
that might be a fun game.
Prediction: Pittsburgh gets first loss this week.
Wow.
Maybe.
I
They're,
like
they're
it.
playing.
I
They're,
think so.
they're playing on a very short week. The shortest
Wow.
week the NFL's ever seen.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Washington gets that win this week.
I did
the
say
whole
I
world
legitimately
full of form.
think that Pittsburgh's been overrated. They haven't played anybody.
Wow.
Which I'm not saying Washington's a good team. I think they got like 4 wins on the year. But
They're no. Who's leading that division? Is it the Giants?
Giants
I
or
think the
Washington?
Giants are-
I think they're tied. I think
I think
the
Washington's
Giants-
top 4
Washington
wins.
had a tie.
tiebreaker.
Did they? Oh, so they're.
I thought Washington was like a half a game up because they have a tie.
Oh, Philly's the one that had the
One
tie.
of them.
Might have been
They
against
have the
Philly.
same record. I don't know.
That week 1.
Yeah.
How about that?
Look at that. What you gonna do?
Would you look at that? Would you look
Booker
at
will
that?
be in this
Look at
lineup
that.
this week.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, if Jacobs is out playing against the
Corey-
Jets, yeah.
Corey Davis should be in his lineup.
Corey Davis might be in there. He'll start Cooper Kupp. He'll start Yeah,
I'd start Perriman.
Perriman's got a shot. He's a
But you got two hot teams going against each other this week.
All right. Giants and Washington are both tied at 4-7. Eagles are 3-7-1.
Okay.
Cowboys 3-8.
And the Giants hold tiebreaker, correct?
I don't know if they played twice or not.
So who you got? JT, Commish, who you got?
I'm not going away from Reitmeyer.
I'm not either.
I'm not either.
Run.
I'm going away from Reitmeyer. Michael.
You going Mike? He's on fire. I mean, hey, let's talk about the other guy that actually has the longest winning streak in the league right now.
I know.
It's Michael.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not won 5 in a row. He's won 5 in a row.
He's won 6 games on the season. He's won 5 in a row.
I'll put my finger, put my hand.
You
up
can put
the
your finger
microphone.
where?
You ain't got to.
Let's have a moment of honesty.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I've got third most points when I can make the playoffs. It's just the way it goes. I'm a little bitter.
That's okay to be bitter.
But it is what it is. It is. Michael's done a great job managing this team. I can 100% live with that.
But what you want to say is Michael's gotten extremely lucky by bullshitting the roster together, and you can't believe that he's going to make the playoffs and you're not. And he had Derrick Henry.
You said it.
But you're thinking it.
All right. So we're going Reitmeyer, and Ryan. My bad. Ryan is.
I'm not in this matchup, but I'm going Trick.
You're going Michael.
Got you,
wrote
Mike.
that down.
Believe in you.
Wrote that down. Okay. All right. Let's go to our next matchup. Our next matchup will be Scorp versus Jordan's team.
I'm picking Jordan.
Who's the manager of Jordan's team again? I forget.
Milana.
Milana. I ain't heard that
Neither
in a while.
have I.
Nothing. Okay. Nothing but titter. Stuff. All right.
Jordan ballsy with leaving 2 spots empty.
That doesn't matter. It'll work
It's a
somehow.
bold strategy.
Somehow it'll work.
Yeah,
He'll
but
get a
he's
tax
trying
break.
to throw the game.
Yeah, he'll get a tax break or something somehow.
You know,
30
I hate to
points.
say this. Like, I don't even really want to look at the matchups because I'll always be tempted to pick Scorp, which I feel like every week I should be because he always looks like he should win the matchup.
Yep.
And then I look at Jordan's, I'm like, man, he really just has too many like question marks here. And somehow Jordan just scores enough to win, and Scorp just does something dumb enough. So, I mean, like, I don't mean it in a bad way, but like one guy on his bench goes off, and someone in the starting lineup goes for 3.
Let's have a moment of honesty.
The problem,
I didn't mean that as a bad thing towards Scorp because I think his team's better than mine.
Let's be honest
But
here.
it's like what
In
we
the
said
moment of
before.
honesty.
He has too many good players, like where he was starting someone that it wasn't their week, while someone else on his bench would go off. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
he's gotten.
He's
bad
got
end
snake
of
bit
it,
on
yeah.
just like roster decision.
So, like,
or
that's
start
what I'm saying.
decision.
and he got snake bit on trading for Kenny Galladay and then Galladay getting hurt.
Yeah.
Because
I told
that
him not to do
Galladay trade, like, I mean,
Holy crap!
dude, I mean, you throw Galladay in there where he has Des Bryant.
But didn't he trade away Joe Mixon and get Alvin Kamara?
No. He drafted Kamara. He traded Joe Mixon to get Miles Sanders.
Oh, okay.
Do y'all want to hear something interesting? Real
So
quick?
technically, Miles
Yes.
Sanders has been outscored in Mo Mixon because he hadn't played in like 2 months.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yes.
All right, what you got, Jake?
So Scorp has the most points against.
Yeah.
He's got 1,604, and Brian's 16 even.
And I'm
All right.
third in that category.
Yes. Yes. Jordan is number 1 with least amount of points against with
14.
1,284. And then
That means teams are barely scoring 100
hold
points
on,
against him.
I stand corrected. Michael at 1,190.
That means teams are scoring less than 100 points against
Yes. So
Michael. I've
those,
scored against Michael less than
All
100
right, hang
points.
on.
1, 2, Broach is in third with 1,294. And then the only other person, no, Andrew is under, he's at 1,389. And then JT, you're at 1,377.
Yeah.
Last week, 94. This is all
Everyone
against
else is
Michael.
above 1,400.
You want, well, yeah, go ahead.
Week 11 against Michael, 84.
Yeah.
Week 10 against Michael, where's he at? 80. Week 9 against Michael, this is ridiculous. 93.
I'm serious, dude.
Week 8 against Michael, 70. That was me. Week 7 against Michael, 113.
Okay. All
Here,
right, so
I want
one.
everyone to ask themselves this real quick. At this table, your lowest output on the season, who was it against?
Michael.
Mine was Jordan.
I beat Michael. I don't know.
Uh,
It still
I'm just saying, I
couldn't be
remember. No, I, think
I
put it
scored
like
69 against
week 6 against Michael,
Jordan.
90. 5 against Michael,
Did you just say 90?
90. 5 against Michael, 93. Michael had a loss. He had 85. This is making me angry. I wish I hadn't have done this.
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't.
141 against Michael week 4.
Who was that?
Reitmeyer.
Yeah, of course.
Which is probably one of Reitmeyer's worst weeks. Week 3 against Michael, Jake put up 130.
Huzzah! That's one I had.
Week 2 against Michael, Jordan put up 110.
And week 1, JT scratched out a victory with like
91.
91. Okay.
So what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
3
Been
weeks
over
out of the
100.
whole season.
Michael, it's all about winning the matchup, man.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
My
You
lowest-
win money that way.
My lowest was against Jake. I put up 8.
All Michael had to do was somehow add 5 points every week.
Yeah.
And he was probably going to win.
Yeah.
And here he is.
That's
winning.
All right, so here's my question for Jordan's team.
Yeah.
Who does he fill those 2 empty slots with? So he's got an empty slot.
Julio if he plays.
Julio if he plays.
Yeah.
If he doesn't play,
I'm not looking at his roster.
If,
he doesn't have another receiver.
No, you'd have to go pick somebody
He
else.
has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs on the bench.
2 of them, well, one of them has COVID.
Go!
Thank you,
Yeah.
because I can't do it after I've said it.
I know.
The rest of them suck. They just suck.
No,
And the
1,
only
2,
tight end he
3,
has
4,
eligible
5,
is Ertz.
6.
Well,
Yeah,
he can move Boyd up to his wide receiver.
yeah,
spot
he
and
could.
put
He
whatever.
could. He could. Yeah, he could definitely.
But
do
they
that.
all suck. And he's still going to win this week.
Somehow, some way, he is probably going to find a way.
He's going to take he's going to take J.K. Dobbins off his IR, start him. I guarantee it.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Because Gus Edwards was terrible on
Yeah,
Wednesday
he did.
night. You know how he plays on Wednesday night football. He has middle school games.
Yeah, right. All right, so who taking in this matchup? Scorp v. Jordan Ryan.
Jordan.
Brian.
You know what? No, I'm going to will this shit for Andrew. I got to tell my mom not to listen this week. I'm going to score.
Because of Powerland?
I'm going to go Scorp as well, just
No,
because
she thinks Heartland part
I
is
think
funny.
he should win. I think he should win.
He
this
should
matchup.
win. He should win. I'm not mad at Jordan, man. You take what you get.
Sound mad.
I'd be happy with him. I'm having a
Why
moment
you
of
mad?
honesty here.
Jake?
I'm gonna take Jordan because I don't think Kamara will get in the end zone. I think what's his name will steal both of his touchdowns.
Taysom.
He's done it the past 2 weeks.
All right, we're splitting to
And-
Jordan.
I really want Jordan to win, and somehow for me to go against him first round. No offense, Jordan.
We'll get to that.
Because you're going to put up 70 against him in the
I
playoffs.
know.
Actually, no. His luck runs out when the playoffs start.
Yeah,
They do.
does.
that's kind of what I'm trying to
It
get.
do be like that.
It
But
do be like that sometimes.
Sometimes it'd be like that, though.
All right, third matchup. Baba Booey versus Brian, victim of the system, Roberts. All right. Let's take a
All
look
right,
at
all
this.
right.
All right, so 4v8 matchup, original projection, looking 129, 119 in favor of Baba Booey, Andrew Ransdale. All right, let's take a look at it. Does Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins bounce back against a divisional game against the Rams, which they need to win? Do they bounce back, yes or no?
No.
No.
Dang, I was thinking maybe
Not in
they
a
could.
huge way.
I mean, I think they might have decent games, but
they could go like
Jalen
up to
Ramsey-
30.
Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald have been playing outside of their minds the last 6 weeks.
Just things they played in their minds.
They've been playing mind games. That's not good.
I think Andrew's team's got a potential to have a really, really big week.
Huge week.
Gaskin looks like he's coming back. He's projected at
against
14.
Bad Cincy team. Chubb's looked really good since he's come back. Thielen could have a good game. Keenan Allen's going to get 20 targets.
Brandon Cooks just got bumped up.
Yep.
And he's got his Minnesota wide receiver stack going against Jacksonville.
Yep.
And Baltimore.
The only thing I don't like is his quarterback matchup because Indy's defense has looked, for the most part, good this season.
And Watson's kind of been matchup proof just because of his rushing ability.
Yeah,
It gives him a high
Yeah.
floor.
Again,
He's not going to put up 33 like he did last week, but he might.
Yeah.
He honestly,
He'll at least meet that projection.
Rams Diddy could be projected 125 plus every week from here on out, though.
Probably
Yeah.
will be.
I mean, easily.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be the one going to be concerned about playoff time.
You picked up Gesicki. Tell me about it.
Johnny got hurt. Then I picked up
Gesicki.
John had a really good week last week, though, right?
No, he doesn't even get targeted.
I know. That's
So who was it between Gesicki and
I almost
Gesicki
picked-
and?
Who did I pick up?
Jared Cook.
Oh,
Cook.
you picked you picked the winner.
I
in
almost
that
picked up
matchup.
Gesicki for this week, but it's hard to put Hunter Henry on the
I've picked up Gesicki and started him 1 week. I think he got 3.
Don't underestimate Gallman this week. He's easily going to beat that 10 points projection.
I believe you. Gollin's played well. He has. He's played pretty well. Jameson Crowder finds his way back in your lineup. Jameson Crowder started off the year hot, son. Then got banged up. Then I don't think he's went over 50 yards since like week 5.
Yeah.
He has gone downhill as soon as Sam Darnold got hurt.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
Let's
Just
just
because
be honest.
Flacco's been throwing to Perriman and Mims, but
He tries to
in
blow
his
him outside.
defense,
Darnold's back.
Perriman and Mims weren't healthy when Darnold was playing, when Crowder was
True.
going off.
True. All right, so who do you think is the leading receiver in this? This is a topic of conversation. Who's the leading receiver this week for the Jets?
Denzel Mims.
Okay.
Pyramid.
James Crowder.
I'm gonna go Crowder as well, but dude, it's
Toss
the
up.
Jets.
Like, which dumpster are you going to throw your trash in?
That's going to
Recycling.
be a terrible game.
Watch it be game of the week.
It will be. It'll be
Watch-
that bad that it'll be entertaining.
Hold on.
And the Derek Carr is going to go off.
Last week,
Yes.
you know that our group message where
Yes.
it's like, oh, all the Broncos quarterbacks are out. Oh, they're starting a receiver and Royce Freeman at quarterback.
Yes.
And Ramsdale says, Broncos win.
Yeah, whatever. So we blow out or
Yeah,
whatever.
golly, dude.
They completed one
One
pass.
pass for 13 yards.
You look at that receiving chart on the box score, and it just said Noah Fant, 1 catch, 9 yards.
And I was seriously upset that Jordan didn't break the nose on the injuries.
He's got to stop playing golf on Sundays.
That's his
What
role.
happened.
I know, that's what
his
he
thing.
does.
That is.
Da-da-da.
It used to be you.
Yeah.
Now Andre Johnson is.
Man, Andre just tore his ACL.
I kind of retired after that.
You did. Because I didn't have a smartphone at that point. And so I'm like, dude, I got to get home and get to a computer and pick up Kevin Walter.
No,
You know,
it wasn't.
Oh, golly. How about bringing up a
No, you remember who you picked up?
Lester Jean.
Lester Jean,
Yeah.
also known as Lester Jean.
I thought it was French.
Thought it sounded more
Who
exotic.
comes out the gate with French?
Pierre
It's
Garçon.
football. It's a fighting game.
Pierre Garçon.
So
He's Haitian.
I made a bad call,
they-
and I
I think he's always
learned
angry
that I
at
don't
everyone.
need to do it again. Some people like make bad calls, like, "Hey, let's go watch Watchmen," and then they
Get put on probation for 2 years.
Okay.
Double secret
Hey, look, I've
probation.
been there. I've been there. I've made bad calls.
Happens.
I just
Can't
make
win 'em
fun of
all.
people when they die. That's my thing.
That's my thing.
It is
That's my thing. All right.
If
So
one of us goes first, would you make fun of it?
Oh, hell yes. I'm going first, fellas. We all know this.
Brian always wants to go first.
all right, pick a winner. Victim of the system, Bob Bowie. Who you got? Jake.
Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
Ryan.
Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
JT.
Do it, you
JT.
coward.
Brian.
There it is.
Brian.
You going Brian? Yeah. I think
That's why I call it split.
I'll tell you
decision.
why I'm picking Brian, because I think Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins,
What?
they have to get this win. They have to get this win. Because if they lose to the Rams, then
The Rams leapfrog them, and that means that the Cardinals are out of the playoffs, I think.
right. So I'm gonna call they come through one way or another to get this big win. So I think that's gonna lead your team, Brian.
Thank you.
I think Ramsey is gonna have a good week. He's gonna have a really good week.
I hope everything goes good for him at work. That's what you're talking about, right?
Okay, yeah.
That's why he's not here tonight. He had something to do.
Still got to build that shed in his backyard.
He's got to
Yeah,
get the
I'm
stuff.
really
He's
glad
got to
he
get the
doesn't
stuff.
listen to this, how much y'all rag on
I wish he would listen.
him.
I do too.
All right, next matchup: Broach v. Jake. This is close. This is a good matchup.
Big
right?
game.
Big game. 124, 120 original projection in favor of Broach. But
What?
Todd Gurley's questionable.
Perhaps.
So, man, you never know about Todd Gurley. He's starting an interesting running back combination.
We don't
Melvin
have a
Gordon
choice.
III and Todd Gurley II.
Yes.
Combined, they are Todd Gordon V.
Average.
Go careful. You add the okay. Anyway.
Yes.
I thought you add them and divide by the number of
No.
participants.
So
Would be 2.5.
1.5,
Yes.
2.5.
Anyway.
You get it. You got it.
You know.
God, it's going to be a 2-hour podcast.
Probably. Henry Ruggs finds his way in your lineup, Jake. Tell me about it.
Reaching, boys. It's not a good situation.
Dude,
I-
receivers
I-
have been tough, man.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on in Denver, so I don't trust Tim Patrick, who had kind of worked his way.
Drew Lock starting at quarterback. That's all you need to know.
Well, then maybe I do put him back in because he'll come through at the end of the game and throw one up to Tim Patrick, who still gets the most targets on that team. Lazard did have a touchdown last week, but only had like 30 yards. So I don't know if I trust him enough unless he's touchdown dependent. My bigger, what I'm back and forth on right now, is I might start both Indy running backs and take Zeke out.
Ooh. I like the strategy. I like just taking a backfield. I know Jordan Wilkins is going to get some work, but I would imagine Taylor and Hines will be the main.
I like how different they are, and I feel like Taylor might
Much
get
more artistic.
Taylor might get touchdowns, and then Hines could get receptions. And you've done that a lot this year with the running back who is the backup, but he gets a lot of receptions, and he's been very beneficial. Now, I'm not comparing them at that same level, but I'm saying that they could possibly both start and not steal a lot from each other. I guess if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. They have different roles.
Yeah, I'm about to say they're not going to cancel each other out.
Jake's going to win this week.
I thought about doing the same thing with Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams this week, just because they're splitting the backfield and they're both being productive, which is the same thing in Indy.
And I just don't really trust Zeke against Baltimore.
Can I ask you a question about the Ruggs start? Mike Williams, the Chargers are playing the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Belichick takes away what you do best.
Mm-hmm.
What do the Chargers do best?
Throw it to Keenan Allen.
There you go.
I was gonna
Do
say
you
crab
think
cakes
about
and football.
starting Mike
Do you
Williams?
know what the problem was, Ron?
What's that? You don't want to have three Chargers
Yes.
starting?
That literally is the only reason I took him out.
Okay, I was just asking.
And
I was
he's
asking
so
if that
big.
thought process
He's
went through.
so boom buzz, man. Like,
Yeah, yes. I mean, boom.
yeah.
Sometimes
but,
he
I
does.
mean, really, that's my whole.
But that's what Henry
options.
Ruggs is.
I mean, that's the
as well.
same
I was
thing.
asking.
Ruggs could be that
So
guy.
Maryland
He ain't got
does.
in the end zone, but his targets have been going up. And I think Vegas, after how bad Carr played last week, will look to respond. Maybe I'm hoping.
Is Aguilar playing? I don't think he's.
That was the
practiced.
other thing. Aguilar hasn't practiced all week. I don't think.
No, he
So-
hasn't.
So that was one of my reasons that I threw Ruggs in, is that I was hoping for a bounce back from Carr, and if Aguilar's out now, if Aguilar's in, I probably will throw Mike Williams back in.
I was
Hey, I
just
could
asking
throw Mike
about-
Williams in at flex and not do the two running backs.
I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't start that many Chargers ever.
I mean,
I
Jake
really
is-
like-
Jake is our Chargers guy.
I really like Eckler.
Yeah, I
I've
did
been
too.
on him all year. And
Henry,
then-
Henry, yeah, he's
well,
a
considering
he's
that
a
what
tight
we
end,
just went over
it's
a while ago,
decent.
he was a top 5 tight end or top 6. He was right there at it. So
He's been getting targeted.
Jake's still going to win this week.
You taking Jake?
Yep.
What is there to say about Broach's team that we haven't already said? His
We talked about running backs being sketch.
running backs are sketch, but he's
the
got
double up.
He's got Rodgers and Adams.
And what week is this for Lockett?
Not,
I
it's
mean,
not
that's
going to be a
a high-
15-point week.
It's a high
It's
projection.
not going to
It
be a
is.
15-point week.
We talked about it before we started recording. Who is James Bradbury going to be covering most of the time? Because their second corner is not great
Yeah.
in the Giants. So if he's covering Metcalf, Lockett could have a good game.
I think Parker could have a good game. I hate seeing him.
Melvin
back there.
Gordon's
If
gonna
Fitzpatrick
suck.
starts, Parker will. If Tua does, I think that puts a limit on what Parker could do.
Melvin Gordon could have a decent game
Melvin Gordon's going to suck.
in the receiving aspect because they're going to get down and they're going to have to throw.
Is Phillip or Patrick Lindsey playing this week? Because he
So
was
you tell me I
questionable.
should put Tim Patrick in?
Yeah, maybe because Drew Lock has been good when they get down by 21 points or more. They're going to be down 21 points or more in this game.
Yeah, we said the same thing
Yeah.
about that when Kansas City played
God,
Vegas
I
the
ain't got to
first
go
time.
against Reitmeyer this week.
I don't know. That's just my thinking behind it. All right.
I agree. I've thought about it myself,
Yeah.
but the only reason Ruggs got put in is because of the Aguilar injury and how bad Carr played last week. Felt like he would have a bounce back game. Like they might try to get him 2 or 3 touchdowns to build his confidence back up.
There you go, Ron.
Jake.
You can't start that many Chargers and not get a break from this guy.
Taking Jake?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Broach.
Jake's going to go Roach.
No, I think we'll go myself.
Atta
boy.
All right. Our matchup of the week.
Really?
In week 13.
What are we doing?
We're matchup of the week because here's what's got to happen for me about the playoffs, Ryan. I've got to beat you, and not just beat you. I've got to
With
beat
a
you.
lead
I've
pipe.
got to annihilate
conservatory.
you. And on top of that, I got to outscore Brian by like 87
So you need
points.
Brian to put up.
But Brian
50
has to
points.
lose.
See, yeah.
Brian has to lose and lose big, or just not put up many points
He's
at all.
got- he's
And
got-
I have to absolutely destroy this week.
the perfect situation for you would have been if Brian adopted Michael's strategy of not setting his lineup to the last minute and then just loses internet connection and can't start it and gets
Do
a
that.
zero.
Do that.
That is a thing of like Michael. Like it's kind of ballsy, man. What if something you oversleep, you take a nap, you wake up, and it's like 1:05, and you miss all the 1 o'clock starts, and like.
Well, it doesn't matter because whoever's playing against him is not going to put up 100 points.
No.
Can I check your lineup?
Go check my
Did you
lineup.
do
What,
it?
is that what you did?
Just go check my lineup.
All right, I gotta go.
Check his footwork.
Brian's
as well.
got 9.7 as his projection right now.
Who have you
He's
got in?
Indy's,
My defense.
Indy's D.
Why?
Show work. You know, like I'm actually trying.
Look, I'm rooting against you. Sorry.
There's no chance of collusion here.
You know-
Brian's just thinking, you know what, I'm giving my guys a rest so they don't get hurt.
All right, okay. I'm checking it. Okay. Yeah. Empty. Okay. Because it's not going to be that way.
Look, you're
Sometimes it do be like
Why
that,
would
though.
you do that?
No, he ain't got to give me. Don't get you. I just got to have a good week. All right. Anyways.
Control what you can control.
All right. So original projection 121 to 120. Colder personality. Slight edge. I'm gonna be honest. I switched out a couple guys that I might not start just so I would have the edge. Look, I gotta. I don't
What do you think
I
about
don't-
Benny?
The Jet.
Being I kind of like the snail trail this week.
Yeah,
Because what's his name's on COVID, right?
Yeah,
Go
that's who I had in there originally.
Yeah.
And then I put
I
Latavius
like-
Murray in there so I would have the edge when we came to
Yeah.
matchup preview.
I think he'll get a touchdown this week.
Take that, Funky Cat.
Are you? Look, don't listen to me because every time I give fantasy advice, it doesn't.
Well, look,
go.
That makes you think we do.
I picked up Benny
Refresh
Snell.
that screen.
Just like it, man.
Ah, dang it. I picked up Benny Snell before James Conner went on COVID.
Yeah.
Just so, if anything happened, nobody was going to pick up Benny Snell and use
I went.
Snail
No.
trail?
use Snell Trail and be a fantasy champion because Snell just goes
I
off.
I
went to
will-
pick up Snell. You did. I went to pick up Hines the week that Jake picked him up. Just because, like, if I'm wasting $41 on somebody,
This is,
I don't want anybody
this is
else
what
to
you
use them.
spent the money for, though.
Yeah.
Is weeks like this.
I did. I built my team for the playoffs. Too bad I'm not going to make it. All right, so Ron now has the edge, 121.55.
Did you make the switch?
He made a switch. All
Who'd
right.
Who'd you put in?
I took out Damon Harris, put Clyde Edwards-Helaire back in.
Oh, great. All right, so Ryan Tannehill, Patrick Mahomes. So you take him. All right, easy. Next one. Sterling Shepard,
I
Terry
don't know how easy this is. We get rushing touchdowns for old Tannehill.
All right.
Patrick Mahomes.
Sterling Shepard, Terry McLaurin.
McLaurin.
Yeah, I'm going to take McLaurin in that.
Yeah.
Landry, Deontay Johnson.
Landry had a good week last week.
He
That
did.
was like
Say
his
Landry's
first
gonna
one,
have
and it was
I
only
did
because you
start
put him on the bench. That's the only reason he did it. Is because
If I would have started him,
he would have had 3.
yeah.
And they weren't playing in a monsoon.
True.
I
I'm
kind of like that being a little bit of a shootout there. I think Cleveland's got to kind of earn their
I
keep.
say Landry this week.
I'm going to go Deontay Johnson.
I'm going Johnson because he gets 15 targets.
Yeah, I like
a
his
game.
target
That's the
share.
other thing.
I like his target
But that's a tough Washington team.
Robert
would be-
Woods, Marquise Brown.
I don't
got a question.
trust
If you're
Howard.
playing the Steelers, who do you try to shut down wide receiver wise? Is it Claypool?
Claypool's probably the toughest matchup because his
Size and speed?
and he has a good combination there. That's the weird thing about that trio. Claypool has size, speed. Deontay Johnson,
Speed and route running.
and then Juju is just kind of like
He's a
just kinda-
mismatch
you can,
inside.
Yeah, you can just use Juju in many different
Jack of all
areas.
trades, master of none.
He's been
Yes.
tough here lately.
Except
Like,
for when he
I've been
almost
surprised
stepped
how
on
he's
a
been
flag.
Yeah, I guess
That
he
was
hurt
the one
his
thing he
toe.
wasn't tough.
Yeah.
But he's been playing well.
Yeah.
Is that the best wide receiver trio in the league?
Trio.
Trio?
3 people.
Yeah, I think if Dak was playing, I'd still make the Cowboy argument, saying Gallup, CD, and Cooper.
Scoopa.
They have not been well utilized. Who would be the third in Minnesota?
I was trying to figure out who the third in Minnesota would be.
Those top 2 have been really good.
Johnson. Don't even remember his first name, so now probably not him.
And then Seahawks, Moore, and Lockett, and DK. I don't think they're bad.
Not more.
No, I mean that's the problem.
Yeah,
Yes.
that third.
That Panthers trio's not bad.
Samuel,
That Panthers trio is
Moore,
up there.
and
Anderson.
Robinson. Yeah, that's not bad.
It's up there.
It's not a bad trio.
AJ Green.
All right,
T.
where we
Higgins
at?
and T. Dog.
Marquise
Woods
Brown,
and
Robert Woods.
Woods.
Yeah, we're all going Woods.
Unless McSorley gets the start, and then Brown might get a 70-yard bomb touchdown.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, legitimately, our RG3 just got put on IR,
Yeah.
and Lamar hasn't cleared COVID yet,
Yeah.
Golden.
which they don't play till Tuesday, so he probably will clear by then. But he might not.
No.
God, Pitt's pissed about that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. All right, Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones.
Henry.
Henry.
We'll take Henry, but I think Aaron Jones got a good game here.
Well,
He is not
so
good.
here's the thing. If I didn't feel like there was a split between him and Williams right there, we just talked about how much better Cleveland's defense has been keeping them kind of in games. So I think if I wasn't concerned about Williams stealing some from Jones, I might go Jones. But Henry's just.
Oh, yeah. If
I think
Williams
the
wasn't
defense could give Henry some more problems where he's not going to go for 40 this week.
there, Vrabel did come out and say he wants to get Henry more involved in the passing game. So if that happens,
Watch
good for
out.
Henry, but good for
Yeah.
Tannehill. So I might actually benefit from Henry being a beast.
Maybe.
Probably not going to happen.
I'm
'Cause
gonna-
my
I'm still
quarterbacks
taking
get single digits.
But that was my only thought process. I just wanted to share because we've been kind of.
Yeah, it's Henry.
Yeah.
But it is, that's good other side of the coin.
All right, this was a little bit closer. I think there is an edge. A little bit closer. Kareem Hunt, Chris Carson.
I'm going to take Kareem.
I'm going to take Carson.
If Hyde doesn't
I was about to
play,
say, I'm taking Carson because Hyde might not
if
play.
Hyde doesn't play, I'm taking Carson. If Hyde does play,
I'm still taking Carson.
I'm going to take Kareem Hunt with big play.
big play. No, I think that's a wash. Kelsey Goddard.
Whoo, buddy.
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
I think
Yeah, I don't think you can take anybody tight end.
I think I've taken somebody other than Kelsey one time. It was when you and Jake played earlier in the year. I took Kittle.
Yeah.
It was wrong, but I think I took Kittle.
Lat Murray, CEH. I don't know, to be honest with you, because past couple of weeks, Tavis Murray's been he's been one of the main benefactors of Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I'm not playing Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm playing Damian Harris.
Okay,
I'm going to
so
take this matchup.
Tavis Murray, Damon Harris.
I'm going to take Damian Harris.
Yeah, the Chargers' defense on the ground is not good.
Not good.
I'll buy into you and I'll give left.
Okay. If Benny Snell is starting this week, I may change that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then lastly,
Flex to be determined.
flex to be TBD.
Green Bay.
Yeah, I'll take Green Bay because Philly's gonna turn the
Philly's
ball
gonna-
over at least
Philly's
3
gonna
times.
Philly.
At least 3 times.
They're one of 2 teams in the league, I think, that average more than 2 turnovers a game.
Yeah, because Carson Wentz fumbles like at least once a game,
They give up a ton of sacks. He fumbles a lot.
and then he throws like 1 interception again.
And a touchdown might get scored.
They could, especially if that game gets out of hand and they're throwing it a lot.
Oh, they scored a touchdown last week.
The ref has said, calm down, everybody.
It's out of hand. All right. So with all that being said,
So
matchup of the week:
So he's gonna play.
121.03, 121.5.
Brian, who you got?
I'm going to go JT.
you would.
I'm going to go Ryan.
You would. JT.
Oh, let's say ours at the same time. Ready?
1,
2, 3.
Ah, no, 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 no.
Yeah! Because I need a win. A really big one.
You know the bad thing about that is for you there, buddy? I'm not good at picking games. So if I pick you, it's probably not a good thing.
Oh, he did that on purpose. Sabotage.
No, I've been picking every. I don't think I picked myself like twice. I think I've lost both times I picked myself.
Everything has to go.
You need the stars to align.
Yeah.
In an epic way.
Is there an eclipse anytime
Yeah.
soon?
We are going to get to see the Christmas star for the first time in 800 years. So there's that. You got that going for
He's
you.
coming back, buddy. And it's soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully before Biden gets in office.
All right. Well, let's look at. So the only thing that can change this week, we have a little bit of seeding that can change.
Pretty much seeding.
Yeah, because the playoffs, like the participants, top 8 look like they're locked in for the most part, unless again.
You need what? You need me to lose, you to win. You beat me by how many?
87.
87 points. He's got to.
He's got to outscore you by
88.
88.
He's
Basically.
got to beat you by 88 points.
Yep. So
What's your lowest output on the year, Brian?
70.
So that would mean
Jason's gonna put like 160.
What's your highest output on the year?
Like 165 maybe.
140, 150, something like that.
Well,
Yeah. Things have to go completely right. Yeah, there is some seeding that can definitely change because we have from 3 to 7 are all within 1 game of each other. 3 and 4 are only out of 1 game of first place. Reitmeyer, if Broach and Jordan were to lose, Reitmar can take that top spot. Bobby Bowie can take that top spot.
There's nobody really locked into where they're seated right now at all, besides Score.
Yeah. That's the only thing.
He's the only person that can't change.
Yeah, everything else is kind of TBD. Who knows? Who knows what this could look like coming next week, dude? But I'm excited. A little bit of we get playoffs next week. That's exciting.
Yeah,
Exciting.
Big week next week.
I can go as high as 2 and as low as 6.
And I hate to say it like that. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna keep that one in. That one was bad.
You've got to say it.
We'll have a person that would be able to kind of talk about matchups at the table because one of you two would not make it.
Yeah, it's gonna be me. I'm fine with that.
But I mean, it's kind of fun to be the person then that like you're not stressed about it.
The objective third party.
Yeah, like you basically everyone else could be like, I don't know what to do here, and
You shouldn't have ever said that, man.
well,
You bad juju. You know how Brian feels about bad juju.
You
know how Jake feels about bad juju. He wants Juju to be good.
I need Juju bad. I need him.
I need you bad too, buddy.
You need Juju to not play good?
I need Juju to be good.
Oh, Tarzan.
You need Juju to
If
Me, Tarzan. You,
if
Jake.
Jamin Brown can be good,
Jake
moving
Juju.
forward, I'll be okay.
Now we've got that established.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that
Too
being
far.
said,
Way too far.
any last words for Week 13
Oh, I
preview?
thought you were about to kill us.
No, not yet.
But you know what? I would like to see things get interesting.
Well, take me out to dinner.
We'll see what
Nice
it's like.
bottle of wine. We'll see how things progress.
Two Dixie
You're not a
cups.
wine guy.
You're a wine guy?
You don't ever know. Never try.
If I get you a couple shots of Jack, I'm going anywhere I want.
I didn't know we were inviting Jack.
Jack makes me mean. Hey, you give me some tequila.
Makes it a
Old
little
Tito over
freaky.
Shoulder action, you don't know.
I do know, and I don't want to know. But now you know.
Watch you roll your eyes.
Because he wants to know.
Broach has only made 18
But,
moves on the season.
I looked at that the other day. I was like, who's made the most moves? I was close to the top, and then I looked at Broach. Like, oh, he's first place. He doesn't even have 20.
Yeah, Jordan's second, and he has the most.
Yes.
There's no.
There's no explanation.
Now, hold on a second. We haven't established who Brian's going to use that last dollar on yet. I want to
We
know.
don't know.
We don't know.
All right. Well, with all that being said, hey, good luck this week. Like and change. We will see you next week, and it should get interesting.
Smoke them if you got them, boys.
Roll out.
Dun,
Oh,
dun, dun, dun.